Doctors say his brain, nerve, heart, stomach, kidney, and skin damage come from the chemicals at work. He's embarrassed to go to dinner because he makes a mess with a fork. He's among many who doctors say will never recover from their exposure to the plant's chemicals.
And I'd like for you to come to my house and visit. And I'd like for you to be my age, 21 years old, and come home to a depressing household.
Tabitha Watson's stepdad's totally disabled, she says, from his chemical exposure while working at Caldwell Systems. At a meeting attended by State Hazardous Waste Chief Bill Meyer, she and others charged the state cannot be trusted to run or watch a hazardous waste incinerator, that the legacy of Caldwell Systems was to wreck their lives.
Besides the scrawny little check that comes in the mail every third of the month for my stepfather, that's about all we get in my household. It's real depressing to go home and wonder what you're going to eat for supper.
Meyer insists the new plant will be totally different and safe.
The reason I have great confidence in what can be done because we'll be starting from a new facility, not from something that's been modified.
But the state's planning to move on, and while it does, Keith Killian sees himself being left behind.
I don't see much of a future myself. 27 years old, and I'd really had some things planned that I wanted to do what my dad done. I can't do anything now. What good am I doing, really?
Keith Killian is part of the legacy of the fire on the mountain. Another is public confidence. It's concern, even fear of hazardous waste potential for danger when it's unregulated or badly regulated. As the state tries to fathom public opposition to its proposed hazardous waste incinerator, it need look no further than here on the top of Lick Mountain. Dave Boliek, WTVD 11 News, Caldwell County. Last night was not the worst night Bill Meyer ever spent, but it ranks right up there.
I blame you. You had the opportunity to get that mess off of that hill a long time ago.
I have state officials has come to my house, faced me face to face, and lied.
We're asking that Mr. Meyer would be dismissed immediately.
Meyer, who's in charge of enforcing the state's hazardous waste rules, was the target of angry citizens who live near the now-closed Caldwell Systems hazardous waste incinerator. They accuse the agency Meyer heads of failing to enforce environmental rules, which they say cost some of them their health, others their property, still others both. Even though citizens had soil samples showing significant pollutions around the plant, the state insisted there was no hazardous waste problem, and if there was, it couldn't be proved. Caldwell Systems was the source. If the state couldn't find the pollution, the EPA could. This secret federal report shows that one test site right over there was so polluted that investigators were called off. They were told that to dig any further was dangerous to their health and safety. And the EPA says Caldwell Systems is the source, and that is why they were yelling at Bill Meyer last night. They said it was a warning to the rest of the state.
Don't let them put a hazardous waste incinerator in your county, or you will be in the same shape that we're in.
Dave Boliek, WTVD 11 News, Caldwell County. For 12 years, Caldwell Systems has roared 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, burning industrial wastes. People who live nearby over the last year say they have proved the plant has polluted water and soil and has poisoned people, plants, and animals. Last September, we met Truett Haas milking his cows. By winter, the milk company wouldn't take his milk anymore. It might become tainted. Today, his farm is idle. The cow's gone. The land and the water are tainted. The county is buying the land, but Truett has no place to go yet. And it doesn't go down easy.
They should have closed that thing down before it messed up everything. Or hell, and caused me to lose my farm. And if they could close it down now, they'd close it down years ago.
He spent today helping his sister bring in the spring hay. He hopes one day to have a dairy herd again. On the top of Lick Mountain, the incinerator's been taken apart. The doors off, the meters and feed lines stripped. They couldn't run it again now if they wanted to. The company that owns the operation will stay in business, though, handling hazardous waste.
We can store and treat companies' hazardous waste. We can blend these materials and send them to other facilities at reduced cost.
This is the sound of hazardous waste being improperly burned and everything around it polluted, critics say. A sound they have lived with for years.